Right, I think we might kick it off. Anybody get any sleep, or did you all spend the whole? Well, I hope that was a good bit of inspiration yesterday. Esther, thank you again for that.
I saw some people went home and did the personalisation, which was great.
Excellent. So yeah. Well, I'm hoping we don't get any tech glitches today, but hopefully we've got a tech glitch.
Oh, it's just connected to the network. I've restarted. So.
Hopefully we'll not have too many issues. So yesterday we did images, and images in and of themselves are obviously valuable. I was just chatting with Tim before. There's a bunch of different applications, everything from personal branding stuff through to YouTube thumbnails, through to marketing collateral. I showed some examples of how I personally have used AI image generation. Literally everything you see around us is an AI generated image. When we throw up the Wi-Fi, or we throw up a holding slide or whatever it is, these are not things I would ever have been able to do myself. I just don't have the creative illustration or photography skills, but I think there's plenty of ways to use that. But the segue into today is that we're going to be doing video. How do we take these images? How do we get them moving? Now, not everything is about filmmaking necessarily. Hands up who sort of puts themselves in the category of people wanting to make films or short films or something in that sort of category. Okay, awesome. Who's more sort of commercial? How do I get images moving and create stuff that's more commercial? Okay, so a nice mix between those two things. So we want to get these images moving, and that's what today's session is going to be all about. I did encourage folks to sign up for those two platforms, and you might wonder, it seems a bit overkill, but the whole idea is to encourage you to do some experimentation. I know it feels like, I'm signing up to this thing, but cancel it next month or cancel it next week if you don't want to use it. It's a small investment, I think, to learn these skills and to experiment a little bit. And in some ways, I'm just doing the forcing mechanism to say, come on, try this stuff, pony up for $10 to give it a whirl, because you never know what that opens up. So, Hing, what have you got in store for us today? What does everyone need to be set up and ready to do? And what's the layout for the session?
Okay, well, basically, the aim for today is to start with the images that you've created. We might do a little bit more work on the images just to juice them up a little bit for Runway and for Cling. But the idea is we're going to create a few different video elements that you can then take away and put together into a story of some kind. So filmmaking, whether it's a short film or a commercial product, or it's about telling a story. And a moving image is nothing really, unless it's conveying some sort of information. So we asked Chris to ask you guys to come up with a character, an environment, and some kind of action or interaction that this character is having within that environment. That's the basic element of a story. A character who is at a location doing something. And we're going to create that today, hopefully. One of the things I 100% expect you to bump into is the first wall of generating video AI, which is experiencing what a dice roll it is. So there's two ways you can engage with AI video generation is throw it a prompt, throw it an image and cross your fingers and just keep doing that until you get something that you like. Most of the videos that you see out there have been generated that way. There's been very little control of the product. I'm going to show you some things that are in the platforms themselves that can help you shape that crapshoot a little bit and make it less of a dice roll. But at the end of the day, it's still a dice roll. And if we get time right at the end, I'll show you how some some of the people who are filmmakers who already have some skills in compositing and chroma key, any of those skills can actually help you wrangle the randomness of AI into something very controllable. So that's where I feel that the people who already have experience in the industry are going to shine with AI, bringing their skills to wrangle AI into something usable, rather than just rolling the dice every time. Do we have any questions about the characters and the homework that you did last night? No? So we've all got a character, we've all got an environment, and we've thought of some kind of action or interaction or object or something that character is doing within that environment. Are we good with that?
Hing, I will put a Google Drive link in the
Okay.
WhatsApp so that if anyone doesn't have those assets, we can share some assets there so someone can use those.
Okay, great. All right. First thing I'd like to show you before we get into that is just go through the interface of both Runway and Cling. Just show you a little bit about what's in there. We're not going to have time to go through all of the tools, but I am going to show you the tools that I have found most useful.
I'll move the camera up.
Yes. Okay, so if you open up your Cling portal, you'll get a page like that. Is anyone, we're all sort of seeing something like that? If you've had a chance to have a little look around, you see it's fairly self-explanatory. You can play with images and image generation in these tabs. Back. But we're going to be playing mostly with video. And this is where you drop your assets, whether it's where you drop your images, and you'll see that it has start and end. What both Runway and Cling now enable you to do is to help wrangle your video into something that you want by including a starting frame and an end frame. And the job of the AI platform is to get from the first frame to the second frame in a smooth and seamless and hopefully sensible way, meaningful way. Doesn't always work, but that's what it tries to do. This is your prompt space here. And prompting in video generation is very similar to prompting with images. You have to give it a subject, you explain the style that you want. The added, I guess, element of video prompting is to prompt motion. So there are two things that you can prompt in a video. You can prompt the motion of your character or your subject, and you can prompt the motion of the camera, your view, your frame, basically. How does the camera move? Does it move? Does it zoom in? Does it zoom out? Does it track left or right? Both Cling and Runway understand filmmaking language in those terms. If you have a bit of knowledge of what a dolly shot is or what a zoom shot is, panning, tilting, Cling and Runway both understand those as prompts. They also, Runway also has some inbuilt camera controls where you can actually move the frame in the direction that you want by sliding some special sliding. I'll show you that in a moment. Actually, we'll go to Runway now. So very similar to Cling, this is Runway now.
Runway ML,
That's what
centered in the WhatsApp.
the homepage might look like. If you haven't generated any videos, this will be empty.
Lovelyemail.com.
If you go to generate video, it'll open up in the Gen 4 platform, the Gen 4 portal. That's the newest iteration of the Runway model. And you can switch between the models here. So Gen 4 Turbo is very fast. It costs a little bit more in credits. Gen 4, basically the same but not as fast. And the previous models, Gen 3 Alpha Turbo and Gen 3. It's not there anymore.
Previous one.
Oh yeah, Gen 3 Alpha.
Would you ever use those previous models?
Yes, I would. Yes, because Gen 4 and Gen 4 Turbo, if you look, it doesn't actually give you the first frame, second and third frame controls yet. It's probably coming, but Gen 3 they do. I'll just show you what that looks like. I'll bring an image into here. Let's go. So if I bring this image in, just drag it in. It should give me those three options there. So Cling only gives you 2 frames, a start and an end frame. Runway in the Gen 3 version gives you 3 frames to work with. So that's a pretty good amount of control. Now, the thing I wanted to show you that is a huge game changer for not only video production, but for image production as well, that Runway and Cling has also got a version of this. We'll use the Runway one. If you go into Runway, go back to your Gen 4 option. I want you to drag your character image and your location or environment image into that space there. So I'm going to use this character. Oh, hang on, sorry. You have to click image first. Up here, sorry. Click image, and then drag both of those images into this box here. So this is my character. I'm going to use this as a location. What Runway now allows you to do is to combine those 2 images in a prompt and take elements from one and use them in the other, or vice versa. So I had a question here from someone yesterday about a horse, right? This is how you do this. I'm going to take the character in image 1 and place him in the environment, place him under the elevator in image 2. Just by prompting the man in the character or the subject, whatever it might be for you, the unicorn, the lady, whatever. You refer to your character here, the man or the character, and then if you hover over the image, it'll give you this icon here. Just click it, and it'll put it there, or you can just type in image 1 like that. Man in image 1 is standing in front of the elevator in image in, and now I just hover over that image in image 2.
Could you put it over a video?
I don't think so. You can take a screenshot from that video. Take a screenshot from that video and put it in there. So do you need some time to do that?
Just if anyone doesn't have image assets, if you don't have ones that you prepared, in the WhatsApp group, I've just shared a Google Drive link and put a character, an environment, and a prop, if you'd like to.
If your character is already in its environment,
Yeah.
okay,
That's the way I interpret it.
then put the character in image 1 is standing in the environment of image 1.
So you just have one
Yeah.
image there.
You have just one image. But I'm just showing you this way just in case you wanted to change it up.
Well, the beauty is that an isolated character, where the focal point of the image is on the character,
Mhm.
the AI is not getting distracted by all the other things. It can sort of focus on the character so that when you want to put the character in different environments, you're going to get a bit more success.
I have a question, sorry.
Yes.
Your two images, they both made in the same environment with same lighting.
Mhm.
It's very similar, so would that be creating a better result? Because they're very similar mood?
They're similar moods, yes, and it probably would create a better result, but it will still do a very good job if it's a vastly different
Yeah,
environment.
because it looks like they're from the same.
So I could have a picture of a snowfield with people skiing, and it will attempt to put that character in that field. Might give him skiing clothes and stuff like that. It will be that character.
Then we can have a look.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't see how to select two images at once. Can you show?
Oh, okay.
Here.
You don't have to select two at once. I just drag and drop from the folder. So this is my folder. I can do it one at a time. I could just drop it.
Yes.
Or I could select the two images that I want here.
Got it.
Yeah, and then drag them in. Yeah, one at a time is fine. Once you've got your image references in there, that's when you do your prompts. And now we're going to get Runway to generate from that prompt and those two references, if you have to. Before you do that, just this tab here, we're going to switch between how many images are generated. So 4 images will cost you 32 credits, and 1 image will cost you a quarter of that. But I tend to do 4. Yes, Matt?
How many reference images can you add into that top part? And how
3.
many? Only 3?
Only 3. Yeah.
Okay. So is there like a way to structure it, say character, environment, then maybe an item or something? Like just go preference based on whatever image is first?
Yep. So if I had a picture of a spray can, I could say the man in image 1 is standing in front of the elevator in image 2, holding the spray can in image 3, and it would do a pretty good job of that.
Do you add sunset to
You
a
could add a sunset.
daylight image?
Yeah. Yeah, whatever environment. And the amazing thing is that it would take that character, match the lighting of the environment, and light him properly, so it doesn't look like he's just been cut and pasted in there. So let's generate our characters, and I want you to share your characters. I want you to share both, if you've got a character and a environment, and your final product as well. So I'm going to generate 4 images. Up to you whether you generate 4 or 1. Now I designed this, what we're doing last night, to try to achieve what we're setting out to do within 1,000 credits within each platform, so you don't have to keep purchasing credits. This is one of the unfortunate things about AI video generation. It's not like Midjourney where Midjourney does cost, but this is quite a bit more expensive for the amount of footage you get back.
Is that,
Easy.
I've only got 652.
Okay, well, we'll try to.
Is that the standard plan?
I think so. When you first sign up, I think that's the
652.
You can add to your credits afterwards.
We have to share it in WhatsApp.
Okay, so
It's cool.
okay, let's have a look at what people have generated. Okay, this was yours, Matt. This was this character standing in that environment. Okay, great.
Oh, wow.
Once you've got an image of your character standing in its environment, we're going to get both Runway and Cling if you have it, so that we can compare the difference. We're going to prompt your character to do something, to start to do something anyway. So.
Gee, that's a great result for yours, huh?
Yeah.
The coherence between the character and the final thing is very good.
So this is I'm going to use, if you're in Runway, you can use the image for a video generation. You just hover over it and it will give you this. I can input it for video. I can even, if I hover over that, I can use that as a reference for a next prompt, for example, in the image. So if I click that now, that should pop it up here. And then I can continue prompting until I get what I want using these generated images as references for the next image. So this is a great way of moving your character from place to place and generating different backgrounds for them for different scenes.
Is that better than Midjourney
For this,
on
yes,
image creating?
absolutely.
The result is much
Because the fidelity and the consistency of the character is
Why wouldn't you
it's
just
a lot
do it?
better than I found for Midjourney. If I tried to do this in Midjourney, I would put okay, well let's do the test.
Is there the question, why would you use Midjourney to start off with?
Why would I use Midjourney to start off with? I use Midjourney to create these characters, to create the initial image and the initial.
So Midjourney is better for creating.
Not necessarily. Runway will do a pretty good job. It's just that it costs more to generate an image in Runway than it does in Midjourney.
Do you have the same ability to shape it with references and all that sort of stuff like you do in Midjourney? So Midjourney has more tools to get you a result.
So I would use
in an initial way.
Midjourney to give you a starting point because you can tweak that starting point a lot better in Midjourney. It won't cost you, every time you click generate, it won't cost you probably the equivalent of 30 cents every time you click it. So once you've got the image and the location you're happy with, I'm going to use this image to create a video. So we'll input the video. Now, I'm going to get my character to turn around and face the elevator, and I'm going to ask the elevator door to open as well. That's going to be a challenge.
Anyone need any help or everyone okay?
Can I just ask a question? You could have the answer.
This is the
Um,
elevator.
Presumably, you could just bring in images from Photoshop.
Absolutely, yes.
Right, so it would save you credits to do
Well,
all
it
that
yeah,
stuff.
depends on what you wanna make, but
Yeah.
yeah, you can bring your own images.
You can create all of these in Photoshop in whatever you want and bring them in. Yeah. You can draw them. You can take pictures of yourself and bring them in.
But again, if we're taking pictures, uploading images of ourselves, it's in the public domain.
Sort of, yes.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, it's searchable.
Yeah.
So if you go into the tool and you were to search that exactly, this would come up
Okay.
as one of the things, yeah. Elevator.
I can't,
Just straight.
but
He hasn't generated his.
Can I ask you again what the step was before this?
The step before this?
Yeah.
Okay, the step before this, I'll go back to it. I would
And I've done all that.
Yeah.
I just wondering how
Basically-
to go to
hover over this image,
the main, yeah,
yeah, and then you hit that and it will put it into a video window for you here.
okay.
And then, once you have the image in the video window, you can start prompting it. Don't generate yet. We're going to look at the prompt before we do that.
I've ended up with 3 images in the video window. For some reason.
Oh, you might be in chain 3. Oh, no.
Done something wrong. I just clicked on the
You
image.
actually click the video thing.
Yeah. So I should get
Oh,
rid of
yeah.
this.
No, you don't need to.
Don't do that.
They're just-
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And then drag it.
Just so you know, what I'm creating here, I'm letting you in behind the scenes. I'm creating this video for a client. They've asked for a 15-second commercial where a man comes up to a elevator, an Art Deco style elevator, pushes a button, the elevator doors open and there's a pink flamingo standing inside. That's the brief. That's what I'm going to be trying to do today.
It's working.
Yeah.
You're being paid double.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's no payment for this.
At least he's getting paid for something.
I'm killing 2 birds with 1 stone.
Killing one bird with 2 stones.
It'll be a generator.
Alright, so if you look at my prompt, the man turns around and faces the elevator doors open, the camera is still. So I've explained basically 2 motions there, the motion of the character and the motion of the camera. I want the camera to stay absolutely still or static. Runway used to be very terrible at this if you wanted the camera to stay still. It would always seem to want to do a slow push in or a slow dolly out, or sometimes rotate the lens as you're going in. But it has since gotten better at prompt fidelity. Now, what also helps the AI model is that this style of picture looks a bit like Wes Anderson, right? Runway is very good at understanding film styles. Wes Anderson, there's very little camera motion. They're all steady, tight, static shots with symmetry. So if I give him a Wes Anderson looking shot, it's going to probably use Wes Anderson style motion, which is no motion. So I'm fairly confident that this will work. The thing that I'm not confident about is when the doors will open. The man turns around and faces the elevator doors open. That could happen at any moment, if at all. So I might try to improve my prompt and say, then.
Hing, when you do this, you able to capture stills from the video as well?
Yes.
Once the video's done?
Yes, we'll get to that.
And is it better to give the character one action at a time, or can you give him multiple actions?
I've experimented by giving. One of the main things you've got to keep in mind is if you're generating a 5-second video, whatever motion they do has to be achievable within 5 seconds. Okay, if it's not, it's not going to happen. If it's 2 or 3 different motions, I would try to generate it in a 10-second video, which will cost you more. But it tends to do better if you give it one action to do.
Because once you generate, you can't add on to the video, can you?
You can. There is a way to do that, and I'll show you how to basically tack videos together. It's probably not the best way of creating a longer video. I'll show you why. Okay, so I'm going to change my prompt to, so the man turns around and faces the elevator. Then the elevator doors open. Now theoretically, Runway should understand this because it's using what's called a transformational model. It understands languages and the sequences of events. So that should help it. The camera is still pin 4. I'm only going to use 5 seconds. It only really takes 5 seconds to do that. And here you can switch around, play around with your aspect ratio. So if you want to go into portrait or any of these other aspect ratios, you can use that. But keeping it easy, let's keep it in 16:9, and I'm going to generate. Now, if you're confident with your prompts, generate.
While it's generating, you know, you said about the camera still.
Yes.
If you've got someone, and I need to learn about photography, but if you've got someone walking and you want the, you know, it's sort of like to pan like someone's taking a video or something.
Yeah.
What's a good sort of prompt for that? Or
Okay. Runway actually has a good film guide which tells you about all of the different kinds of motions that you can use and the terminology that it's been trained to use. But for example, if someone's walking and you wanted the camera to follow it, you can ask the camera to pan and follow it, or just ask the camera to follow the character. And it will do one of two things. It will follow it by panning the camera, or it will track with it will track.
So just for now, we just say follow.
Yeah. Okay, so 53%. So this is, Runway is generally a bit faster than Cling. I want you to do the same thing now in Cling. Use exactly the same image and exactly the same prompt in Cling. So if we go to Cling, we put our start frame. Actually, no, don't do that. Don't do that. We're gonna have a little bit more fun with the Cling app, with the video that we've generated in Runway. So once you have your video, and mine's done, let's see, fingers crossed, this is the crap roll. Turns around. Okay. Not bad. I didn't want him to walk in.
But you could just cut that.
I could cut it back.
It's taking up to 5 seconds, that's good.
Massive elevator.
Maybe you should say turns around slowly.
Yeah,
becomes a
to give me time to cut, yes.
But I mean, just take a second to marvel.
appreciate.
It's incredible.
Like everyone's like, yeah, you shouldn't walk into the large elevator. But do you realise what just happened there? It's like,
We've taken 2 images.
yeah, the elevator's a bit big, Hing. No, I mean, it's truly incredible that
Yeah, the folds in the fabric and all that kind of movement and everything.
So I didn't want him to stop
But it's
at the
random thing, not.
stop when it opened. So I'm going to do that in Cling using the frames from this video. So I'm going to download this.
Pretty good.
Yes, yeah, amazing.
Now, download. Sure, I don't think Runway has the ability to take snapshots, but what you might be able to do.
You can use it in itself, like you can do use frame.
Oh yeah, there we go.
But then just every user, so you can play it to the end frame and then use the last frame to generate another 5 seconds if you need to, that kind of thing.
Yeah, no, I want
But that's
to
not
use,
what you want.
No, I want to use this frame as the end frame. So the doors have to open. It already started walking.
Are they sliding like elevator doors or
A bit of both, doesn't it?
opening?
Yeah, it's weird. I didn't notice that before. It's like they're contracting,
Yeah.
squishing. As if it was a cage door.
So in the prompt, to get more accuracy, you might even need to say the elevator doors slide open.
I think I did that once. It didn't. It did a better job, but it still did something like that. I've downloaded the image. I'm going to bring my image into Premiere Pro. So I can take the frames. If you don't have editing software, you can do screenshotting, or if you bring it into VLC Media Player, you can use VLC Media Player to pause your video and take frames using the snapshot button.
fear not, Thursday we'll be doing some video editing for those who've never done video editing before.
So I'm going to snapshot that frame. Call it. One.
Yeah. Could you go through that process again? I mean, to
Which
do
process?
a frame, yeah, snapshot,
Okay.
please.
Can you do it in VLC for them?
Do you
I don't
have
think
Premiere?
people, I don't think people will have that software.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
I mean okay, let's do it in VLC Media Player.
Sorry, we thought you were selecting the frame.
No,
See this
In
one?
there.
I don't think people will have VLC.
No, they won't either.
I think that's.
Okay, well, let's not bother about using first and last frames here.
Can I just take a screenshot?
You can, but it's a screenshot. All right, yeah, let's try it. So if you open up your video, however it is, and pause it at the frame that you want, take a screenshot. If you can select the screenshot so that it doesn't have any text or menu items or anything like that, because that will appear in the video then that you generate. So if I were to do it, I would do it like just play it in the video. So, see, I can full screen my take a screenshot. let's worry about screenshots and stuff later, alright? So all I want you to do this time is do exactly that, what you did in Runway, but do it in Cling, and let's compare the difference, compare the results. So I'm taking that image. Save it. Which image was it? Was it this one?
Yeah, I think it's the first one.
Chris,
So I'm downloading the image that I generated that video with.
The reference images and then the description that ChatGPT created for me. Do I, what is these
Yes,
numbers?
at the moment you're generating,
Putting it in a folder.
Okay.
So if you just generate this, you create a single combination here of
Yes.
those things. Hit
Bring
generate.
this into Cling.
Oh, the start.
Right, I was meaning that.
And drop it in this window here.
Yeah, and the idea of this is that you're sort of creating from which you can then generate a video.
Could you use
Okay.
Cling to create that image?
Yes, you could.
You could, right, we're just
Absolutely.
bypassing that
That's right.
in this instance,
I
okay.
think you can only do 3.
Just note that if you're creating
as
images
well.
in these platforms,
Yeah.
it will cost you a little bit more than if you were to do it in Midjourney. So it'll
Okay,
eat down these credits here.
Gotcha.
okay.
And this one will be clean.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to use exactly the same prompts that I had in Runway. I'm just going to copy this.
I like these images.
So
that
if
are created
you
on
click
Midjourney.
here,
I have to create
it will copy the prompt for you, and you can use it anywhere in any document. I'm going to bring it into Cling.
How many can I upload?
Just the frame, just the video. We're going to try to see what Cling would do that Runway doesn't do.
Sorry, where does the prompt go?
Frame are you bringing across that?
I'm bringing.
So remember the photo that you made
Just
above
the
the
initial
line?
photo
Yeah, the
from
initial photo that you made. Yep.
From Midjourney.
Not from Midjourney, no.
So
The combination of the
Yeah.
two.
you had your character, you had
How
the
do you,
environment.
how do you then download that? Or what do you
Yeah,
do?
I'll show you here.
Generating, I've got the image.
Right, so if you scroll up from you generated a video here, if you scroll up, you'll go to the images that you generated to begin with.
There's a download icon just on.
Yeah, I'm in video, so
You're doing
here
something
you can download, and I'll download it to my download folders in my computer.
No, that's exactly what I'm trying to do at the moment.
It's gonna go past, it's gonna
run
pretty quickly.
We don't seem to be able to get the prompt up in Cling.
It's up
Yeah.
at the top. It's up at the top,
It says presets.
and then you just.
Make sure you've clicked on the video generation. You've dragged your image into this frame here.
Where's
Your prompts down here.
The prompt icon on Coherent.
Let's have a look.
So I just want you probably.
See
Just make sure you're on image to video up
seconds.
the top there.
It is there? Okay. So you might just have to scroll down,
Your 5 seconds.
depending on how big your window is set up in your desktop screen.
Are you on?
My mine says it's going to take 20 credits, and hers says 100. But we think we're doing the same thing.
Okay.
I don't know if there's a.
We're on 2.0 master, is that what you're on?
Oh,
2?
oh, 1.6. So
Okay.
Cling 1.6.
I shall be
right. And
downgraded.
she's on 2. I see.
You're on 2, yeah.
Mine, checking mine.
Yeah, there you go, 35.
I mean, so maybe it was the wrong spot.
So the prompt
It's
is
uploaded
going
to
in
Cling,
here.
those two.
Is that right? That's the little change.
Video. Click video.
I've just gone down to 1.6.
Right.
Now
That's
you drag
the
it.
All right, from
Can
So
people
make
fun
if you're
now?
in Cling, you're in the video tab, the video tab on the left here, this one. If you've got your prompt in there and you're ready to go, start generating now because Cling takes a little bit longer.
Should we use 2.0 or 1.6?
Use 1.6 for now. 1.6 is fine.
I think for the purposes of the class, use 1.6. When you've got more time, 2.0 is just a higher quality, a few more credits, and a longer processing time. So for the purposes of learning today, just use 1.6.
Yeah. Let's use 1.6 if we haven't done that already. So
What was that? What was the 1.6?
so when you go
So you're on 2 at the moment?
I'm on 2 again, so I need to change
Up the top.
Yeah.
No, I didn't
So
do
if you
it.
go up to the top here, you'll see what version you're using.
So we're not trying to join two images together, we're just creating one image with one.
We're doing exactly the same thing that we did in Runway. We're using the image that we generated in Runway, which was a combination of your character and your environment, and we're creating a video, and we're just trying to see the difference, if there is any, between Cling and Runway. So I'm generating, it cost me 35 credits for 5 seconds. It's going to take me 1 minute.
Submission to free.
Yeah.
Okay.
Me too, got that one.
So, if you're waiting, can I get you to upload your Runway results to the WhatsApp group so we can have a look at your Runway video?
Can you show them how to download it?
Okay, so if you're in Runway and you want to download your video, make sure you're in the video section. Go to your video here, down here, if you can't see, down in the corner. There is a download icon, which will then download it to your computer, and you can then put it wherever you want.
Excuse me.
Am I on the right thing?
I ended up with a watermark.
Oh, watermark. Okay. Cling has this annoying little thing called the watermark, which you have to turn off.
Cling or Runway?
Cling.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, that's it.
see this
Same ones.
water? Yeah. So if you go, when you hit download, see that window that pops up?
Yep.
You can then switch it off.
Okay.
Make sure that's green, and then it won't download the
Okay.
the watermark.
Gosh, it's not as good, it's slower. My Cling version was a lot slower.
Is it? This is my Cling version. So if I put these side by side,
How many Cling videos can I do at a time? Can I do a couple at a time?
yeah. So if you're generating one,
Yeah.
you can start another one.
Okay.
And it will come up after the other one.
Am I right to remove the stuff on the side because it's already processing? Okay.
Yeah.
No, Cling very good.
So this is my Runway version on the left and the Cling version on the right. So that's Runway.
See if I can see what I said.
This is Cling.
Last turnaround.
Fast turnaround.
But the doors slide better.
The door slide is better.
It was a very quick
Okay.
The doors
This is a good example of one of the differences I tend to notice between Cling and Runway. Cling seems to have a better understanding of how things in the real world move, has better understanding of physics. Runway used to be terrible at that, but it is getting better. Now you'll notice in the Runway version, the doors kind of weirdly contort as they're closing.
Yeah, like concertina sort of.
Yeah, like concertina, whereas Cling has detected that this is a solid door and it has to slide in order to open. Yeah.
You could add that to the prompt,
I
couldn't
have
you?
something different in mind. I shared it on the.
Oh, okay, let's have a look at,
The man's movements, I feel, are more natural in Runway.
yeah.
It's like she's stepping over stones.
Yeah.
With a creak of them.
It's like the floor is lava in a way.
Pretty amazing.
Okay, let's have a look at some.
Oh, I put
some
softly,
results.
so maybe I'll change the
Down
word
there,
softly.
Yeah, she's
with a lady
Softly, yeah.
in a sidewalk forest, kind of, like a little bit lower, that's it. So one has the trees, the static trees, this one.
Okay, that's pretty cool.
That's Runway.
That's Runway, and then
And
this
Cling,
is-
you see it makes the trees
Oh,
very
yeah.
weirdly.
So it didn't recognize them as trees, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I thought it was interesting.
Runway did.
And Runway did, yeah.
It looks like they both make different assumptions about the world.
Yeah.
In the first one, up the left, it was.
That's pretty cool, I like that.
What was your prompt, Jan?
Sorry?
What was your prompt?
The prompt was the woman turns her head left and faces the viewer, the camera is still.
You're able to, if you've got the ones, if you've created one where the trees are moving, are you able to adjust that and say stop moving the trees?
In Cling, you can do what's called a negative prompt.
Yep.
So if we go to Cling.
But you can adjust, you like the video, you want to adjust it slightly, you're able to do that.
Okay, you can repeat it with a different prompt. You might do it. You can't tweak, you can't sort of tweak
You can't edit.
Existing video.
an existing video and hope to get the elements that you want from that video in the next
Yeah,
video.
because
Yeah.
mine's turned, I haven't put it up there, but mine's turned my girl dog into a boy dog.
Can you have a look at the other videos that are on Midjourney? We can talk about the weird stuff that
Okay.
AI does.
So let's have a look at some of the other videos that people have come up with. Start at the top here.
I haven't seen that originally.
There we go.
Oh, wow.
The man smells a flower and smiles.
That's Runway and the Cling one's down further. Okay.
Runway.
Let's go down and see the Runway.
See the clean version of that one is down here somewhere. Here we go. Alright, this is the clean version of that exact same prompt and picture.
It's the eating it?
It's totally different, isn't it?
It's I think that one stuck to the prompt better.
Yeah. It did look like he was about to eat the flower. That's pretty
That was
good.
pretty good, yeah. Okay, let's go to the next one.
look,
It's pretty cool.
yeah, and also like if you edit this video,
Okay, Juliana. Is that Mel?
yes,
Mel's got crazy eyes.
That's wicked.
Nice, okay. Was that Runway? That was Runway?
Have you got the Cling one up there? Yeah, Cling's up there too.
The clean version of that.
Did that come from a real photo?
So Runway was the winner in that one?
What was the prompt, Juliana?
Cling ignored the camera is
Oh,
still.
comes in the direction of the sea.
So,
So Cling followed the prompt a bit better,
Cling
Yeah.
was better for the prompt.
but it just ended weirdly. Yeah.
Which is more expensive, Cling or Runway?
It depends. It depends on the.
Let me do a Google, a ChatGPT search.
Cling's a little bit cheaper, I think, for the same result.
Is there any reason why?
But yeah, Runway does that image referencing thing much better. So yeah.
Is there any reason why Cling would ignore the camera is still prompt? Because mine did a big pan and
Okay. Yeah.
it looks great, but it's not what I.
That's one of the problem. Yeah. If
I'm getting to negative prompts for that.
yeah, you would go. I would try to fix that with a negative prompt, like going, don't move the camera. I don't want to see moving cameras. Or
Character pretty consistent.
So let's watch the rest of the videos and then talk about negative prompts.
Yeah.
Starts in the middle.
Curious about how this one.
Yeah.
What was your prompts for this one? Whoever this is. This is Georgia.
Yeah, it was, sorry.
Oh, yeah. It's worth getting an extra prompt, isn't it? Yes, it's like, can't spiral.
Yeah, no, it helps.
Well, the Cling
That's pretty good.
The Runway was better walking, but the Cling had a bit more scenery.
Yeah.
Oh, fantastic.
That's cool. I like that.
Worked pretty well.
How do I find, oh, there it is. Sorry about that. If unicorn tail gently swishes to right, unicorn head
Okay.
slides
Did you? That's Runway, is it?
Yeah.
It's Runway. Okay. And
There's
did
a
you try it
Cling
in
one.
Cling?
Yeah.
Just scroll
Okay.
along.
Well, that's great.
Yeah. The Cling one's just slightly more subtle, doesn't have as much movement, I guess.
Okay. This is Cling.
It's a
Still
little
nice
way
though.
over the distance, but.
Okay. All right. Seeing that first picture though, I was expecting it to be like a stop motion animation or
Yeah.
something. So if you were to add to your prompt in the style of stop motion animation, it would do that.
Yeah, I was wanting to see how fluid it could be though,
Yeah.
because I
It
imagine
was
you get
very
more
fluid.
stoppy with that prompt, so I was trying to avoid that.
Okay.
Go to the beach guy.
Beach guy.
Yeah, because his hand does some weird things. Oh no, is that the Cling? No, the go up is the Runway version there.
Okay. We're about to see some AI hands. in
Unless
action.
that's what you prompted him to do.
No, I didn't. I did not.
Oh.
I don't know what that is.
One of the sure ways to spot an AI video is look at how many fingers.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you look at the next video, the lady in the stained glass, just go to the
This
bottom.
one?
Yep. Starts with 5 and then turns into 6.
I love that one. That is so creative.
Okay, great. Let's
You may be
continue.
showing it later, but are you able to create a character like you do in Midjourney and keep it going into different scenes?
So am I able to create?
Create a character like Midjourney.
Yeah.
And put it in different scenes.
Absolutely,
Different
yeah.
images, so
That
it'll
would
be
be
consistent with the character.
Yeah, that's the reason Runway is such a good.
Runway does that.
So I'll show you. So this character that I had standing in front of the elevator. Oh, sorry, this is the wrong one.
First tab.
That was, I must have collapsed it.
A bit on the picture, you'd see it.
So what I could do is add another, I'm going to add a different environment now. I have a very different environment here. Let me use something Anything else we're working on? Here's a new environment. It's a post-apocalyptic environment.
Yeah.
I have a question. Do you use a lot of these in pitch decks and things when you're creating a concept for a movie? Like, would that be
Yes.
one of the main purposes?
This was our pitch deck.
Yeah?
So the showdown max for one of them, yeah.
Oh, okay, cool.
So there's the image of the environment. I will use this character again.
Did you create that in the journey?
This is a combination of
That one.
of our property.
Okay.
And that building and that guard have been added. So, the man in image 2 is standing on the concrete. Oh, I could just add the man in image 2.
Can you make him in a different position? So for example, your reference image of the man is standing already. So if you wanted to have him walking across the concrete,
Okay, let's
so
do
you
that.
could do
The man in image 2 is walking. On the concrete. In image 1. Okay, let's generate 4 of those.
Can you take a photo of the actual guy like that? Him in the same thing, or is that?
I think they said you can.
Okay.
You're able to take a picture of a real person, is that right? And insert them into.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whatever you drag into there, it'll use.
Cool.
So it's
So-
changed the background up quite a bit.
Yeah, it's changed the background, but it's
It's also changed the direction of the line as well, yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Geez, the character coherence is brilliant.
the character, it's him.
Really.
There, he's there.
Totally.
Did you need to write walking across?
No, I just meant I did want to see him walking across, but usually it will do this unless you specify.
Right.
But if you said walking across from left to right or something like that, is that where you
Profile shot of the man
profile shot?
walking.
Okay,
Default
So
is
can you
towards
edit it from here to change that?
Yeah,
Effective?
let's try. Let's add this image. This one is perhaps closest. Let's add this image. Let's go the man in image 3. He's walking on the concrete in image 1. Well, I'm not sure about this.
now that you've got a combined photo, would you need the 2 original photos or could you get rid of those and just use the 1 photo and try to change it in that one?
Yeah. I think Midjourney would do a better job, but let's see. The man in image 3 is walking from left to right.
you have to specify that you want a profile shot or anything?
No, I think I'm going to just try this. Yeah. And image 3 is walking from left to right.
If it was me, I'd probably go to ChatGPT, put my photo in, tell her what's wrong with it.
Yep.
Say I'm using it for Runway Gen 4, blah, 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 and ask it to give me a prompt.
Because you're trying to decide whether you just use the image that's up
it's already
here,
here.
or you're still going to use the other images. as part of the
I'd like to try to stay close to this image, if possible. So, because I like that guard up in the tower. But yeah, I'm not confident it will, but I'm going to give this one a go.
If you don't reference, do you think if you don't reference it in the prompt, that it still includes the
it won't
stuff
include,
from?
No, it'll only include this as its reference if I only use that image.
Yeah, you'd have to say, yeah.
So Hing, what you're effectively doing here is creating new keyframes for new video scenes. So individual elements, combine them, create a new keyframe, use the keyframe as a starting point for a new scene.
Yeah, you could do
So
that.
what you're saying is you could have a series of frames in there and say, okay, in the first sequence he walks across, and the second one he goes into the shed or something like that.
Yeah.
Something else after that.
Yeah, exactly.
Done a little bit better with his. It's not quite profile. It's more of a 3/4 angle. And that's one thing we've found in Midjourney as well. That it has problems turning characters into profiles. Okay, so that sort of demonstrates how Runway can be used to create a character that is consistent across several different scenes.
So what you just said there, you think Runway is better to keep, I know someone mentioned it before, keep the same character than Midjourney?
Yes. Yeah.
So if you wanted to do something that the same character is...
Yeah, so for example, one thing that has occurred to me that I would use this for in my workflow is, let's say I wanted that character to run down a flight of stairs as well. So I would use Midjourney to create a flight of stairs.
Yeah.
I would bring that picture into here, use that character, put him into the staircase, and then I would bring that image back into Midjourney and tweak it a little bit if I needed to, and then bring it back in. So go back and forward until I get what I want.
We also use Photoshop as well to get
a cheat that graphic designers and anyone who can use Photoshop is like I can physically cut him out and put him somewhere. I can reorient him in the frame however I want using Photoshop. Yes?
I just wanted to ask you one thing. With Midjourney, when it generates an image, for example, a portrait, and we decide to re-edit it and kind of get the subject way smaller on the frame,
yes,
we can recreate the surrounding wider. Can we do that in Runway?
No.
No, we can't do that.
No.
Framing basically.
Yes. You can extend the video though, can't you?
The term of art is called art painting. So think of it, you've got your frame and you effectively have an area that doesn't have any detail, so one needs to art paint that. And then you have in painting, where we saw yesterday, Esther showed how you sort of masked out some elements in the image and then asked within the image for it to replace that. So that's in painting. And then out painting is the bit outside of that. Can't be done in here, but can be done in fact, Photoshop's got very good art, it's the tool of choice for art painting. So if you took that image into Photoshop, if you have Photoshop, it's now got very good AI for imagining, extending backgrounds and filling in parts that are missing from that image.
I was wondering if we can do it in Midjourney. Midjourney
You can do it in Midjourney.
can do
Yeah,
that.
I can outpaint, I can,
in the edit, I think you.
in the edit, I can quickly show
Yeah,
you.
in Midjourney you can do it.
Yeah, you
That's
can.
why I was asking if we could do it in Runway as well.
Oh, no, I don't think you could do that in Runway.
Runway,
You do it in Midjourney, but not
Yeah.
Runway.
But I think the workflow that we're seeing here is that for the actual character development and the prop and the scene development, Midjourney is a great tool for doing that.
Yeah.
Bringing them in and then creating composite images where it combines those things and keeps the character really true to the original character. Runway is fantastic at doing that, and then that creates your starting image for the new scene.
Yeah.
Whereas we find that Midjourney not quite as good as combining elements. Obviously that's today, it'll change, you know.
So then I can take my image, my composition from this and bring it back to Midjourney and then recompose it in Midjourney and bring it
You
back
could if you wanted to,
in there.
yeah.
So I can go back and forth with the images that I create from one to the other.
Yeah.
Okay. So do you feel confident that you can take a character, create a character in Midjourney and an environment and get that character to do something in that environment using Midjourney and Runway or Cling?
Yes.
You can do that.
Yeah.
Great. That's your first tool of storytelling. Yes, Matt.
Because I'm doing something slightly unusual, it seems to be really struggling. Like the basic prompt, pull a sword from a sheath. It's doing
yes.
completely weird shit. So I've just been trying to generate something and it's just not going to do anything.
One suggestion would be, in Cling, one of the things I like about it is it has a start image and an end image.
Yes.
So if you created the start frame and the end frame that you were happy with, so let's say start frame, character has thing in sheath, end frame.
I can't even do that. It's even just basic prompts like
No, but I mean, what I'm saying is in Midjourney, you would prompt the character, you would prompt the two frames, right? And then you would use Cling, you'd say, here's my start frame, character has sword and thing, and here's my end frame, character has sword like this. And then what you're giving it the end state, you're giving it the beginning state, and it'll be much more, it'll be able to do that in a much more coherent way.
Because you can't see the sword at all.
Glitching.
And the sheath.
Yeah.
And just adding on to what Chris was talking about there, getting the two frames in Midjourney, character consistency is still a bit of an issue in Midjourney. So if you tried to if you got a picture you like from here and then try to generate in a new pose, it might change the face or something like that. What I would probably try to then do is use the edit tool. So this one might be a bit much of a might be a bit hard for it to do, but actually. So if I was here and I had the scabbard, what I would do is I would.
Is this a real scabbard now, Esther?
Yeah, absolutely. I would erase the arm because the arm is going to be moving. When you're erasing in edit in Midjourney, you erase what's there that you don't want it anymore, but then you also have to erase the space that it's going to be in. Because if you just erase this, it's just going to it's just reading this as this is the space that needs to be filled. So if you want the arm to move from here to here, when you're editing it, you would erase this and then you would erase a space that kind of looks like this with the arm holding the sword
We might
up.
have a go at that if we get time at the end.
I can even have
I have an idea which I think
Could you
will
start
work.
with make the sword a particular element, a single element? It's just the sword, like it's in mid whatever.
Yeah.
Then use that as one of the start points back at the first frame.
Yeah. That's
can you
sort
do
of
it
along the
backwards?
lines
Yeah.
of what I would do.
Yeah.
But yes, you have a question up the back.
Maybe Esther can help you with something.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. So if you're all confident that you can create a character, put it in an environment and make it do something, I'm going to show you another tool which I've found very useful in Runway, for storytelling in particular. I'm just going to show you a little bit of the edit of the video that I'm creating for the client. And this has all been generated using Midjourney, Runway, and a bit of Cling as well. So there's my guy standing there. There's nothing here because I need to fill this part in. Doors open. flamingo is standing there. And he reacts to it. Now I need some acting. I need my character to act in a certain way. I want him, first of all, to act bored, standing at the elevator. When the door opens, I need him to react to the flamingo. He's not expecting to see a flamingo in the elevator. Now, I could spend days trying to prompt emotions into AI video. It just doesn't work. Doesn't work. You might get it, it might not, and it might be the performance I want, it might be close, but I want more control of the performance. So, Runway has this tool called Act 1. I'm going to get one of you to perform this character for me, using your video as a reference. So I get to direct you in the performance that I want and apply it to this character. So if we make sure we are in Runway, video, make sure I'm in Gen 3, I think. Gen 3 Alpha Turbo, that'll do. So if you can get to this point, you'll see there's an icon here called Act 1. If I click it, it will ask me to give it two things. It needs a what's called a driving video, so the video which drives the performance, and it needs a character reference. I'm going to give it my character reference of man in the elevator.
This is called AI puppeteering for obvious reasons. So you're going to use a real human performance to puppeteer using AI, a digital character.
Wow.
This is the character standing in the environment that I want him to. One thing to note is that Gen 3 only does this resolution here, so it's not quite 16:9. So if you use it for another video, you'll have to crop in later when you're doing your editing, or you'll have to upscale this video using upscaling software.
Is that background, like the environment he's standing in seems to be smaller than when the camera was behind him looking towards the elevator door? Is that something that we can control?
Not really, no. You just have to keep, that's why Mid-Journey is good, because you just have to keep iterating until you get what you want.
Yeah.
You can say, you can use words like widen the corridor, or wider corridor, or a bigger corridor, or a small corridor, and that might help.
So that's a video or just an image?
This is just an image. This is the character reference. I'm just going to crop it now into the 16:9 ratio so that when I bring it into the video, okay. And now up here, I need a driving performance. Now you can use your web camera as long as you've got a clean background behind you. I'm going to use my camera here and I'm going to put someone up against this wall who would like to volunteer.
You go.
I'm going to use someone who's close to this face.
Okay.
I'll show you. Yeah, okay. The closer you can get to the face, the better the result in terms of shot. Yep. Yeah.
Do you want me to what's meant to do?
I'll direct you in a moment. All right, so we're recording. I want you to act bored. And now the door opens and you react to a flamingo. Okay, no hands. No hands. It doesn't do hands. Just this.
Okay, cool.
Let's try it. We'll try one more. Okay. That was great. Okay, acting bored. The door opens. And cut. All right, I'm going to take that performance. Round of applause for our attendees. Sorry?
Do you need me still or?
No, we've got you now.
You enjoyed that, didn't you?
Yeah.
I think one thing is putting the character.
Sorry, how did you get to have the act one?
How did I get to Act 1? Okay, make sure you click video here. And then make sure you are in Gen 3 Turbo, Gen 3. So you would have been in Gen 4 before, so we need to click here, go to previous models, and Gen 3 Alpha Turbo. Okay. Lost my image. Let's try that again. Sorry, Act 1. Right, now I've got to find that video of our actor.
I just realised I didn't copy it properly.
Right, it was the second performance, wasn't it? I'm going to have to take that. Let's put it in my folder here so I know where it is. I need it later. No, that was the wrong one. Okay, this will take up to 30 seconds of video.
So we're talking here about
Yeah.
software that used to cost, or an exercise that would normally cost what to do this in a Hollywood type production? A lot.
A lot, yeah. I'm just thinking back to the time when this first became, one of the very first AI videos that was created was exactly this sort of demonstration. It was a research paper showing what AI could do. And it was basically, it was just before deep fakes started to hit back in 2016, 2017. But yeah, this was the first, this was how AI started, AI video started. All right, there's our driving performance. There's our character. 13.5 seconds long, generate. Let's see what it does.
Just like that.
So if you're wanting your end clip to be like only 10 seconds, is a performance of 13 seconds going to affect that at all, or?
No. I would just cut it at where I need to. Yeah.
While you're waiting, Hing, are you able to use styles on still images
Yes.
as well?
Yes.
Similar to
I'm going to show you.
Journey?
I'm going to show you another really cool trick that both Runway and Cling can do.
Do the both? No.
Which is called restyling the first frame. So you can take any video that you want, that you have or created, take the first frame of that video and maybe use Photoshop or Midjourney or whatever to restyle that frame, and then the whole video will be done in that style.
The same video, like a bit like this, it's the
Yes,
same
yeah.
movement. And everything.
I'll show you one particular result I'm really happy with. using just the restyle function. Okay, here we go. We're about to see a new performance here that's never been seen before. Oh, there was a glint. Okay.
Pretty bloody amazing.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's not bad. Now, I'll show you some other things you can do to tweak that. So, see how the performance is a little bit wooden. So I'm going to go to these sliders here. And I'm going to up the motion intensity. It defaults at 3. I'm going to up the intensity all the way to 5. And let's see what that does. It generates.
Is that kind of random how he sort of looks up slightly?
No, she looked up.
No, she looked up.
Oh, right, okay.
But Hing, to put that in perspective, you could have had a real actor recorded their voice, had them do a performance, and then puppeteered that character.
I think yeah. So if I recorded voice and had her speaking as well, that audio would be in this video as well. So
So you didn't edit this down, it's just a raw, whatever, which you shot.
Her voice.
That was just what she.
With her voice.
With her voice,
With
yes.
her voice.
Whatever you record.
If it was a speaking.
Yeah.
I've done one of those, I'll share it on the thing. So.
Can you create audio background music?
Can you create background?
Oh,
Oh,
so
you need
is
to come
there-
to tomorrow's workshop.
Okay.
Thursday.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Thursday. But yes,
Cling can do it now.
in Cling, at the bottom of your video, you'll see it says AI.
Let me show you.
I just
here.
posted an example.
AI sound?
AI sound.
AI sound
Okay.
and lip sync as well.
Just sort of, yes.
Is that only recent, AI sound?
Relatively, yeah.
Yeah, okay. All right, I think it will have done this video. Okay, so this is the result when I upped the motion intensity slider.
So when we.
Oh, it generate again. I didn't want it to generate. That's very all right. So I want to point out something that will happen. It has taken the shape of her mouth and her teeth and put it into this guy. I don't think it quite fits. I'm going to ask this gentleman here to redo the performance. I think his mouth and his face are pretty close to this guy. So let's try that again.
With speaking.
So, sorry, you've been cut.
Best supporting actress.
Now's your time to shine. Here we go.
Oh, I'm excited.
Okay. Acting board. Enough. The door's open. It's a flamingo. Now, you'll notice he really hammed it up there. That's going to work well because AI avatars tend to be quite wooden. So if you amp up your performance a little bit, it tends to counter that woodenness.
mean, you can really see what I said yesterday about lowering the floor and raising the ceiling. And you can just see how achieving a result like that as an amateur, you could never wish to. But as a professional, you can push it that much further and do something even more interesting, you know.
So unfortunately, this actor has been cut. We add this actor. Okay, here we go. So there's our character. You can see the mouth shape is kind of similar, head shape is kind of similar. I'm hoping that his teeth will match that head.
I didn't think about opening up.
Let's generate.
While you're doing that on the WhatsApp, I did one that I'd done before, using Act 1, if you want to look at it.
Let's have a look.
This is one I did at home.
I'm Mike's avatar.
You did a... Oh, you did an Act 1?
I did an Act 1, yeah.
Okay, all right.
Hi, I'm Mike's avatar. He created me so he could go to the beach. But I decided to come myself and leave him at home working.
Must be a bit slow because it syncs up better on the...
Yeah. Couldn't quite hear what you were saying there.
Hi, I'm Mike's avatar. He created me so he could go to the beach. But I decided to come myself and leave him at home working.
Get his image.
Yeah, so I videoed myself and did But real time, actually, the lips sync up to the sound pretty well, yeah.
In the previous version, where there was a glimmer on the teeth, would you have edited that in here, in this platform? If you liked the whole video?
If I liked that video,
yeah,
I would have used what I know in Premiere Pro and stuff to edit that out. It was only a few frames, so you could easily paint that out. But no, I wouldn't use this to edit it out because you'll get a different result somewhere else there. So, yeah.
If you don't have any of the other editing software, is there a way to do it in here? But you just no. Okay.
CapCut's really easy to use.
Yeah.
And then DaVinci's free. It's like Premiere, but it's free, but it takes longer to get used to.
So you'd go CapCut.
Oh, too much movement.
Yeah, so Friday's video editing back if you want.
Okay, I'll just zip it. All right, gotcha.
Okay, so our second actor was too animated. So let's just have a look. Okay, he went down. That's
too far down.
See, now I wouldn't have thought that would be too animated. I've used videos like that.
Maybe the difference between too animated and being okay is like a fraction of a second in terms of how it reads it.
You see if I put that down, if that makes a difference. No? All right. Well, you get the gist.
Yeah.
Oh, it might have been when he walked away at the end there.
Yeah, at the end, if you chop the last second or so off his performance, it might work.
I think we get the gist though, Hing.
Yeah.
You just do it for 5 seconds.
I was hoping to use this for my client.
You've got to sign a model release.
Yeah. Hey, can you just go back to the WhatsApp group?
WhatsApp?
Yeah. Can you go scroll down to the bottom and there's a in the WhatsApp group?
I'm getting whiplash.
Nice.
The second to last video, it's by Jules. She's done some compositing of different scenes together. I just want you to watch that.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
Oh, no.
Is Jules?
Jules.
Very nice. Now, the eagle-eyed viewer may notice that his amount of horns disappear in between each, but that's nicely done. That's how you put a video together. Yep, getting more things.
Oh, yeah, she starts off with no. That's,
Oh, you wouldn't need that. It's incredible.
That's cool. Alright, so that's Act 1. How much time we got? We're going quite well.
Does anyone need a break or?
Before the break, I will show you. I was going to show you restyle. Runway, restyle the first frame. So we're going to use this video since I've got it.
Gen 4?
I think it's Gen 4, yeah. Going to bring that video back in. Oh.
Didn't drop.
This is a WhatsApp because I haven't.
Is it Gen 4? Gen 4 Turbo. Let's try that.
Yeah.
So it's saying drop a video. Oh, I know.
You gotta take the first frame of that video.
I'm just gonna start again.
Might be video to video, might be Gen 3.
How do I get to that again? Video to video.
I think it's Gen 3 to Gen 3.
Gen 3 Turbo.
Yeah, I think that's it.
There it is. I think that's restyle first frame. No, that's static camera.
But it is that one though. Because you can drop a video there.
That's what I tried to do. Right, so I've taken the video, I've dropped it into Gen 3 Turbo. Because it only does that resolution, I'm going to crop in. Oops. Here we go. Style the first frame. So if I hit that, I can now download this first frame of that video. Here it is here. Now I'll bring this into Mid-Journey. And I'm going to restyle it. Let's. It's making me can't use this as a style.
Is it better to do it in retexture? No, mid-journey. Like, do you need his head to stay in exactly the same spot?
Yeah. Retexture, you think?
That's what I'm thinking.
Okay.
You mean to jump on it?
Fire one off while you're at it.
Do this one anyway.
Yeah, see what happens.
Yeah.
Yeah, I might use, see what Midjourney does as a prompt. Use that as a prompt. So if I drag this up here. Okay. This one. So I'm doing it in an anime style, in the style of Studio Ghibli or anime. I'll use this as an image prompt just to see if I can keep the structure.
You can just do shift and hold it over, the one that's in the Omni. Yep, just hold shift and drag.
Let's do that. Now, if you can come and retexture this one, you drag
Can
this one
you
a bit faster.
Too bad is because you used reference and photographic.
Yeah, still look at the photograph.
Okay, so what I would probably do there, do you mind if I just take
Yeah,
over
go
a
for it.
little bit? Okay. Okay. What I'm going to do is define the media type of the unit.
So a drawing.
Yeah. A
Illustration.
Yeah.
Just stylized.
Yep, done retexture. Okay, so do retexturing, go to edit.
Start. Pitch.
Just creating.
Yeah, it's all about that. That's good.
I need to
Are there presets?
I'm just gonna download this image to use as a style reference. Edit.
Retexture?
I think, retexture, thank you, yeah. I have to add a prompt as well, don't I? Yeah, no prompt, yep. So I'm just gonna keep it pretty simple.
Well, that's going.
Weird, not keeping character consistency. Okay, sorry, I'm just going to,
That'll do.
that'll do?
Yeah.
Because otherwise I can just, it's given me, if I dropped his picture into character consistency, the Omni reference, it'd probably give me, let's kind of do this.
Yeah.
Let's do that one, okay.
Download the original first frame.
Image, go back to, create, see what.
And then he's gone into what he's doing now. He's gone first frame.
Okay, so yeah, do it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he's trying
You have to mess with the prompting for that one to try and get a better animated result.
Did you download that?
It animated the shirt.
If I have to download.
So in case anyone didn't follow what I did there, I used the retexture tool in the edit in Midjourney. Sorry, my earrings put on my mask. So I dragged the picture in, I dragged in a picture of the style that I wanted. I used the style in the style reference slot. I probably should have used the picture of the man in the Omni reference slot as well, just to keep it more consistent, because it restyled him, keeping the position and everything the same, but it gave me many different variations with beards and all that sort of stuff. So I could have described him more accurately and also used him as a character or Omni reference if I wanted to keep him more consistent, but just change the style.
Okay, so here we have our restyled first frame. So this was the first frame that we downloaded from the original video. We restyled it in Midjourney using a retexture here. I'm going to drag that into upload, restyled first frame. And what Runway will now attempt to do is to render this video in this style.
This is called video to video. So we've had image to video so far, and prompt to video, and prompt to image. Now we're doing video to video.
In Runway.
Now what I'm also interested to see is if, it might not work because the head's in a slightly different position. If I put my character's video, character's frame as the first frame here, would it restyle his performance?
So for the elevator scene.
The elevator scene.
So probably what I would do is I would use the first frame of that performance, I would take it into Midjourney, use the guy that we've created in the elevator and use that as the Omni reference and the style guide, the style reference for it.
We'll do that later.
I could do that on the break if you want, but yeah.
Okay, so this is the result of restyling the first frame in Runway.
Hi, I'm Mike Zappa.
That's great.
Very good. Compared to the original performance. Not bad. Any questions about that?
I'm so sorry. Would you mind just showing me where you went to do all of this?
So, where if we start in Runway, start in Runway. I'll go to the dashboard. So right at the beginning again. I want to generate a video.
So make sure you're the right.
Make sure for Act 1, you need to go to Gen 3 Alpha Turbo. And we drag our video in, the original video that we want to restyle. This one. Once that's uploaded, it'll give us the option to restyle the first frame.
Yeah, thanks for that.
So rather than taking a screenshot of the first frame yourself, it lets you do that in there.
I need to crop it first, so I'm going to crop it.
Really what you're getting here is a workflow for, one could create a multi-character animated thing with, one could develop the world, the characters. You could voice both multiple characters if you have the talent to do so. You wouldn't need a fancy studio, you wouldn't need really any of those things. And you could drive the performances from, even non-professional actors, just with good scripts and good stories, and create a whole animated thing if you wanted to.
Are we going to be looking at to like two characters interacting within a frame? Is that going to happen?
Well, I think that would just be clever editing, wouldn't it? You'd sort of, I've seen a really nice example of this where it's two people at a diner, sitting at a diner, one of those diner booths, sort of facing each other, and you have a mid-shot, establishing shot of the two people talking, and then it's camera on this person, camera on this person, camera on this person, camera on this person.
You can definitely create videos that have more than one character, but you can really only control one.
Yeah.
But if you're doing the restyling thing, could you have a video of two people talking instead of just one, grabbing the first frame of that, putting it into Midjourney, retexture it, and because it's just retexturing the whole picture, you might you can't.
Yeah, I think that would work.
Yeah, retexture it with two characters, pop it back in, and it would just. And because Act 1, what we're doing for the limitations you're saying is you can't show hands and stuff. At the moment, it's just upper torso, and that retexturing, is it pretty much whatever you see in the first frame? So it could be whole body, it could be landscape, it could be an animal.
Let me show you an example of a really good result that would have taken me at least 2 or 3 days of work to get this results before AI. Just using this restyle function. Might have taken Nikki 1 day, me 3 days. So the original is at the top there. I didn't like that wall. Using Runway's retexture, I got that middle result, but you can see it's changed his face. All I had to do, because the restyle was so true to the original performance, I could layer back the original actor's face back into this performance here. So how I might have done that in the past was to painstakingly select him out of that background and just put whatever background I wanted in there.
Frame by frame.
Frame by frame.
So you just take a frame from the original, bring that into Midjourney, do it in there, and then bring it back.
So you could, like you're doing a retexturing thing, but what you did, you composited it in Photoshop, didn't you? Just the original frame?
Just the original frame.
Yeah, so that's how you got the...
Yeah, so I took this original frame, the starting frame, and in Photoshop I changed the background and I used that as the first frame of the new style. And it kept the background, it kept everything. Runway did a few weird things which I liked actually. It added a tattoo to his arm. So if you compare the original to this one, it's tattooed here.
Taller candles.
It added more candles as well, yes. And it added a little flash of flame down here when he put it down.
And then did you just use After Effects to deposit the original face back on?
Yes.
Or Premiere Pro.
Premiere Pro,
You use
it was
Premiere Pro.
really just the layer underneath and I just cut a hole in the top.
So you didn't even need to track it, then you just...
I needed to track it just a little bit, yeah. But
because it was so closely
so
matched to the
close,
first one, yeah.
If you look really carefully, you'll see, I don't think you can even spot it, the circle is here. And it just moves with its face.
Should we take a little break?
Yeah.
Question.
Let's have a little break.
So you could possibly create a character of yourself, but in different environments, like could that also be like computer generated graphics, like going into a teacup, I've seen
Absolutely,
things like that. And crushing and all those things.
Yeah. One of the things that I should add about AI video generation is the image that you start off with. If that image already has in it some sense of what the motion is, so if you want a character to walk, generate a picture of the character mid-walking, and you almost don't need to prompt because AI video will see that and understand that it's about to walk. If you were to have a character standing and ask it to walk, sometimes it might walk, sometimes it might not. So anything you can do with your first initial image to give the AI model a clue of what is supposed to happen, that all helps.
Are you going to be talking about first and last frame as well?
Yeah.
Just haven't got that.
I thought I'd just quickly show this. A lot of people are saying, can you really get emotion out of AI, and can you really create stuff that's has feeling and so forth. This is from about a month or so ago. It's one of the first AI generated films that I thought was getting there. Let's see if we can just watch this.
Would that one have been used to create the emotions?
Every scene in this film is generated with Cling 2.0. So.
Oh, right.
So it really shows you, that's just pure talent, story, skill, imagination. The software is exactly what everyone else there has now.
And iterations.
And you can make
Many iterations. There were still inconsistencies, but yeah.
Yeah.
Have you had a look at Google VO3?
Which one, sorry?
The new VO3 from
I haven't, yeah.
Did you try that?
Unfortunately, it's not available in Australia.
Oh, it's not?
No.
Oh, okay.
And it's $250.
Expensive.
Yeah, really expensive. Apparently it's quite lovely.
I'm waiting for it to get a bit cheaper and then I'll try it out.
Yeah,
It'll become available
in
as
the
well.
States, okay, I thought it was available here.
Yeah, if you put a VPN.
Yeah.
Hing, I just wanted to show you something. Yeah, because I don't know if you're talking about first and last videos.
No, it's one of those videos.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to.
Sorry, Sharon was trying to help her with it. Trying to generate a last frame in Journey and it just wasn't having it.
Well, what I was hoping to do was to use Matt's Cyber Samurai.
I just want to show you this particular issue that she was having.
Do you want to bring it up on here?
Yeah. Show you, but then you can bring it up and discuss what. So it started off really nicely, but then it disintegrates. She wanted it to fly into that, so we tried with a new prompt with negative prompts from
Where's Chris?
ChatGPT.
Does he know that his thing was still on
The
the
second
screen?
version made the astronaut do better, but the cat still disintegrated. It was even worse. So I was just saying what would have been better is if you had an end frame with the cat in the net. So we were trying to get that in Mid-Journey and it wasn't quite working. So that's something that you probably have to composite in Photoshop. But I just wanted, I didn't know, sorry? Yeah, I didn't know if you wanted to explain. If you were going to be talking about how end frames give you a more consistent result with what you want. You're going to be talking about that?
We'll try it, yeah. We'll try it.
Okay, I'll ask Sarah if she can, give me.
Isn't it on the WhatsApp?
That's the video. I'll see if she's got the.
I'll just take the first video.
Oh, okay. Maybe do that while we're having a break then.
Oh.
Yeah, that's all I'm doing.
Yep. Would it be easier if I got Soren to give you the picture of the astronaut and the camera? Yep. Sorry. I'm just gonna get, I was just explaining your problem with to Hing, and we both agreed it's probably best to try and composite the final frame in Photoshop. So if you're able to put the picture of the astronaut and the picture of the cat in Mid-Journey, then he's gonna just do a composite in Photoshop, quick composite to get that last frame. So if you're able to download the picture of the astronaut and the cat coming out of the spaceship, and then put them in the Mid-Journey, sorry, not Mid-Journey, put them in the WhatsApp group.
Okay.
Yeah, and then he'll see if he can composite that.
So I tried creating that cat inside of in the journey.
I know it's.
How do you give him that one as well?
Yeah, but it looks.
It's different.
It's different again, and you won't do the long handle, so I've got to.
Yeah, I can try.
Yeah, you might be able to, you might be able to get the cats on that one though, because the starting one is the cat's still halfway inside the start.
I did one and I showed it off.
So if you're able to give him those three photos, from that he'll be able to composite a final photo with the astronaut. And he might be able to do that and show everyone what the.
Okay.
Yeah, how.
Restart.
How problem solving.
I'll show you.
I actually did one and I'll show you. It's so that's once it's uploaded, the same style. Right, okay. Because what I did is I actually put it on the
That's why it's making something clearly.
thing, so you could try again. To put, see, this is the image, the first frame, and to put the video over the top. Yeah, it did it well. I don't know, it doesn't have work. So it did the actual exactly the right thing, but it used the image as the background. So I thought
that's
another name.
weird. Never seen that before. So
I did the style the first frame.
Oh, I know what it's done. So it's because. So show me what did you use as the first frame?
I used that picture.
Yeah, because it doesn't match that picture.
All right, so I went and used the.
Yeah, it's got to be the exact same frame, exactly.
Right. So
Yeah,
when I
same.
went into this guy,
Yeah.
I needed to pick, say, that one or something.
Yeah,
that was
something
closer to.
something that was closer to the original first frame.
Right. I'll try that and see because that's sort of closest.
Yeah.
So thanks for that.
That's why retexture works better because it keeps the head position, keeps everything the same, just styles
What did I do? I
everything
didn't
else.
use.
I think you just use some props. So
I use the Omni whatever.
Yes,
and
yeah.
So you're saying you retexture it.
yeah, go into the edit button and retexture.
So what happens is I don't hear a strange result because the
Sorry, the teddy bear lady. Here you are.
Then the restyle first frame.
What's your name, sorry?
Restyle first frame was too different to the original.
Can you re-output that without the watermark?
So it goes.
Yeah, that's right.
Re-output this video, but without the watermark in the corner here. So to do that, you have to make sure when you download, there's a.
Hey, I'm Mike's avatar.
See? Because it's too far off, he said, and this is what I'm trying to do. Well, I'll be interested to see.
You have to make sure
how
that
it
is
does.
checked.
He was saying that's why if you get the original first frame.
Is that before you create the video?
Going into.
No.
Once you've got the video done?
And redoing it using an
So,
Omni reference and all that.
Hover over the download button, and then you can go up to
Stylized,
that
which
tab.
means the face stays in the same spot. See, it's not
If you're
quite,
quick enough.
it's not staying the same.
Yeah, it's a bit awkward, isn't it?
Whereas what I'll do now is I'll go in and snap I'll edit. I'll edit an image and just see that. So I need to give that picture.
Yes.
Actually, I just go it's up like down like that. So then if I go. Whatever. I don't know how yet.
So what do you have?
It's a lot of things just to see.
I see.
I changed it.
This is a spot.
Style was not weird. I don't know what that is.
And then also put something else that works.
So tweak it. Instead of editing, send me the texture. You can see it's, I think it's the same. Probably too weird. If I get the
What are you actually trying to do?
I'm getting the original first frame, so the video I already made, which could be a real person.
Yeah.
Then I'll restyle that frame, but it's got to stay in the same position. So see that now he's in the same position.
Yeah.
I want to see if that works, because when it wasn't in the same, it thinks that is part of the background.
Yes.
Instead of doing like a little before that one, just stylize it to a certain level.
Yeah.
Is everyone back?
I think so.
Yeah.
Just a little challenge I've been set here. Cecile, if you have a look at Cecile's video on the WhatsApp group.
Hi, I'm Mike's avatar.
Teddy bear. She's been trying to prompt the teddy bear to climb up onto Sydney Harbour Bridge, but it just stays motionless. Now, one way to solve that is just to keep prompting. Use ChatGPT to help you with the prompt. She did that, and it's still just staying motionless. We're going to attempt to use a first and last frame to get this teddy bear to do what it's supposed to do. So what it essentially means is I need to create a second frame where this teddy bear has climbed up onto the bridge and use that as a reference for the video. So we've got a first frame. I think this is the first frame. So we will use that as the first frame. Maybe these frames will be useful. So I'm going to use, actually, can you help me, Esther?
Yeah.
If you start working, if you can create this as a character and get him to stand on top of this bridge.
In Photoshop.
In Midjourney. Oh, actually, no, let's do it in Runway. Runway is much better at that. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna remove the teddy bear in this shot first. This is going to be our end frame here. So Photoshop Beta now allows you to just select objects.
Just remove the background. You have your character.
Selected it.
The thing doesn't. It looks the same.
Generated fill, I'm going to remove it.
Like doing something different. It is part of it. You can use it.
It's gone. Okay, if I go now to Runway, I'm going to start a new project, dashboard. I'm going to generate an image. So that image, this image. Pink bear and image 2. Straddling top of the bridge in image 1. Let's try that. It's thinking about something. I might have to start again.
Is it image or video?
Oh, image, sorry, you're right.
So the order, you swap the order around.
Yes.
You know, like this goes.
Okay, everyone understand what I'm doing here? I'm trying to get that, trying to generate the second frame for the video. Let's see if Runway can put this bear on top of the bridge in a believable way.
What is?
This is and Hing. Second.
Yeah.
While that's happening, we have a similar challenge, I think, Esther is giving me.
I'm just having a go of doing it now in Midjourney, but
Which is, we got to get this cat into that net, right?
Yeah. Yeah, so the original cat from the starting frame is actually looks slightly different, but it only shows the first part of his body. So I don't know if you'd rather use that one. So there's 3 images that Soren's put up. Soren, how do I pronounce your name? Soren?
Doesn't want to play, does it?
How about standing? Standing on the top of the
Lies across the top of.
lies across the top. Let's try that.
You're standing.
Yeah, hit that one and then do another one, which is draped across the top of.
Okay, I like that one. I think that one might work. It's draped across the top of the Peregian images.
Yeah.
Alright, well that's running. Let's have a look at the other challenge, which is let's everyone have a go at this. Let's take this image. Which are the images, Esther?
So if you scroll up a bit further. Okay, so that's the starting image and that's the ending image. And we can actually show you what can I just drive for a little bit? Okay. So Soren was trying to make that cat fly into the net, and we'll look at the first result. That's what I think. Yep. Okay. So it starts off pretty well, and then it just disintegrates into puddles. So we tried with prompting, we tried putting negative prompts in using ChatGPT, and the only thing it did better after using a better prompt was the astronaut actually slightly moved by the end, but the cat was even worse. So the way I would get around this is by giving it an end frame of the cat in the net. And so if we gave it the first frame of the cat coming out of the spaceship, the second frame of that, then hopefully it should, with the prompt, it should join the dots. So
if you just take that image.
Yep.
I'll bring it in because you've got the first frame, right?
Yeah, we've got the first frame.
Yeah. And
So-
you were using that as the last frame?
No,
Oh, okay.
I don't think we use that as the
Well,
last frame. So you just
let-
think even without the cat, you know?
No, use this as the last frame, the astronaut.
Yeah.
And in Photoshop, we'll put the cat in there.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to do. Yeah. So, but this cat obviously doesn't have the whole body, so you need to, if you're going to cut that cat out and put it in that in Photoshop, you're going to need to have the whole cat's body. So this is an amalgam, but you can see the style is slightly different. So I don't know whether if you choose that cat for the last frame, it's going to change the style then, or whether you get this cat, cut it out and extend the body.
When you did the teddy bear, was that the whole teddy bear or was it actually cut off in the same way?
That teddy bear I cut out and put in.
Was the whole teddy bear there below? I mean, it's out of view, obviously, out of view, out of the frame.
No.
So we recreated.
Recreated.
Yeah. So would he do that with the cat then?
It probably would. So that's what I'm going to ask Esther to do is take that cat.
Yep.
Create it in that style, just on a green background or something.
Okay. So the original cat coming out of the spaceship?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, not that whole one.
Not that one, no.
Okay.
Why don't you just cut out a frame with the whole cat?
Well, yeah, you could do that, play the video, and then just freeze it and get a frame from that where the whole cat's coming out.
Okay, I'll do that.
It's probably the easiest because it has this glow in it and stuff like that. So
Good suggestion.
Can I just quickly add, I love that Esther's name is Esther de Cutie.
you're not meant to see that.
Where was that?
You've got me in your contacts as Esther de Cutie.
Yes, that's so cute.
Do you mind just putting on US Apple TV there just for one? I just want to show everyone quite a cool workflow. If you indulge me just for 1 second.
Esther, can you do that? Can you grab the cat for me?
you wanna sit on the chair?
I'll continue on.
Yeah, no, that's fine, you continue on, we can get back to this,
There's better than that one.
Okay, just to show you like some of the really creative combination of things you can do here. So here's a character reference developed in Midjourney. And then here someone has gone to Google Street View and gone and captured Street View locations using the amazing Google Street View and created a series of scenes where the character is walking through real locations in cities.
Fantastic.
That's cool.
Yeah. Oh, that's good.
Thanks, Dad.
How high do these like stand up to in terms of resolution? Do they?
Fake travel videos.
Runway now has 4K.
Oh, I'm just thinking for Davina's film, where they're meant to have a film in the montage where they're in
Even
New
if you
York.
input something like this?
Uprises into. Yeah. I think Runway does have 4K output now, doesn't it? Yeah.
On location, sort of.
You didn't even need to go to the location to make the film, did you? Yeah.
Ooh, look at that.
Walking.
See that walking? Yeah, even now, Gen 4 occasionally has problems with walking characters. Yeah. You get characters walking like that.
Yeah. The Irish dance.
Is that related to the length of time, or is that?
I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, the deep fakes, are they pretty much like using First Act and all that, or is there other programs that do whole minute videos and 2 minute videos?
Deep fakes are the same model.
Same concept.
But there's some other programs like professional use that can do like a whole 2 minute or something, or?
Yeah, how do you do deepfakes? It's the same concept, the idea, but different tools though.
I haven't been on enough porn sites to work out.
Just
They're
do it
banned
like-
now, you can't.
Just do it like
You're
you
not
did
supposed
with
to do
camera.
it.
It's the same thing.
You only get a certain amount. Yeah.
But if you've got a pro subscription or whatever.
Yeah.
When you've done a generation, do you need to,
Yeah.
I've seemed to have lost something I already did before. Is it still here or is it gone since I did a second
It
generation?
should be there, if you go to your dash on Runway.
No,
Go
on Cling.
to the dashboard.
Yeah, if you go to the dashboard, each of your products are still there somewhere.
Okay, cool.
Okay, let's see what Runway has done now. With our teddy bear. Was it Runway? Excuse me?
Just a different window, isn't it?
Pretty dashboard.
I mean, it might still work, maybe.
There you go. There you go.
This one here. I reckon if we give this as the last frame, I'm very curious to see how it gets from there to here.
Might have to be a 10-second video.
Yeah. So
Hopefully it doesn't disfigure itself.
I'm going to show you a little trick.
It'll be funny.
Let me download this. I can use this. I go to.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just going to download this.
I don't know how we move from that.
Got stuck in the bridge at the top there, unable to get out.
So if I go to video now, and make sure I'm still on Gen 3 Turbo. Give it the first frame. First frame. This second frame. Now I could put it as the last frame and the video would end there, but what I want to do is give this the second frame and see what it does after that. Will he stand up? Will he fall off? And maybe I'll give it a prompt. Pink bear climbs the Sydney Harbour Bridge and stands up on top of it. The giant. The giant. Pink bear. Bridge.
On top of it.
Yeah, on top of it. And I'll give it 10 seconds to do that.
Can we ask you to wave a flag?
Wave a flag? Oh, too late.
Why don't you run first frame, last frame in Cling while we
Okay, let's try that. Let's do the cat one in Cling. Have you got some images?
Yeah, I sent you two versions of the cat. I took one from the video of it flying through the air. It's cut it out and it's a little bit weird. I mean, I haven't put it in the net yet. Because technically the net needs to be distended. I don't know if you wanted to do that. I can give you a photo where it's in the net, but it's not. It might work for the.
Okay.
It might work for it. I'll give it to you.
This was the first frame. Oh, this is the video. Can you give me that as the first frame or?
That's a picture of the first frame. That's the picture of the first frame.
This?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
And I just did send you the one of the last frame of the astronaut. With the cat. All the way to the bottom.
Yeah, let's just use that
It
one.
might work. It might at least stop it disintegrating. Are there butterflies?
Wow. Space. Well, there's a cat in space,
is
so
a
why not
butterfly.
butterflies?
So in that sort of scenario, you just go into Photoshop and just remove the correct way.
Download it. I did that.
Yeah, all sorts of weird. No, I turned down weird. I'm not sure where I ended up. Oh, maybe.
Nah. Does it need to be this?
Oh, it's like 3-4.
Yeah. Enough loading problems.
Or maybe the original one was 3-4. I mean, that second one is one that I did, so I might have made it 16:9, the astronaut one. Just pick end.
What?
Just put do you want the astronaut one in 3-4? Or the cat one in
What's the original video?
3-4?
I may have.
Pretty sure.
How'd the other one go? Did it make up?
16:9.
I may have edited it.
Did the teddy bear working?
Here we go.
We already moved.
Really struggling with that.
Oh my gosh.
Very smooth there.
Well, bear looks happy anyway.
So you can see the videos that are in the WhatsApp group, the ones that have the nicest results are the ones that are very simple, where it's just the camera's pushing in and stuff. So yeah, a complicated action like that,
Popped up in the
yeah,
background there.
because that action involves legs having to bend and do this, all that sort of stuff. So yeah, that was a very ambitious one. So the original video is 3-4. I accidentally just made the astronaut picture 16:9.
Can you make this into 16:9?
Yep.
We'll give this first and last frame thing one last go.
Would you get specific, like climbs moving its legs and arms, holding onto the bridge in the prompt?
You can try, yeah, you can try that, but I'm pretty confident it would still struggle. Yeah. Okay, what was Soren's prompt? Cat?
What was your prompt?
Original prompts.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's nothing there for us to climb though, really.
Yeah. All sorts of things.
Okay. Oh, okay. Runway or Cling?
It was something like cat exits the spaceship.
For mid-journey or for the?
For the video.
For the video.
Yeah. We're going to try and get that cat into the net using your prompt. I might move this over to the second frame again. To see what happens afterwards. Wow. Anyone want to guess what the prompt was for those?
Angry bird.
A dodo bird in an artist studio painting.
What was the prompt?
Dodo bird in an artist studio painting.
Okay.
Got me to a T.
That's the prompt. Okay, we just need that first frame.
It's in the.
It is.
Had the
Got some of the windows open.
back in the browser, Hing, the other browser window. That's it.
It's getting a bit weird.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to cross those two 6 times.
How many keyframes can you put?
Runway only gives you 3.
Want to change to 5 seconds?
Was it 5 seconds?
Yeah, the original was 5 seconds. Yeah.
Looks like it's changed up the image. Hang on.
Yeah.
Hang on.
No, you haven't put the second image.
Just got the second image.
Cat in the net.
Alright, let's give it a crack. That's running. Get some of these other games.
Hi, I'm Mike's avatar. He created me so he could go to the beach. But I decided to come myself and leave him at home working.
That's using a.
I've done a few of them using, restyling that original first frame. Some pretty weird ones. It's just too weird to show you.
Okay. This looks like it's for some purpose.
So that was for a brand that we're currently doing.
Right.
It's a gamified cognitive exercise client.
Is it quite faithful to what you wanted it to do?
So I nixed the background
Yeah.
from obviously a competitor, but the lady was made out of from yesterday. That we,
Okay.
So
Does it look quite like what you were going for?
100%, yeah.
So you're happy with that then?
Fingers were just about acceptable, I think.
You don't look too closely.
Yeah, that's clean too. So that's the best model.
Just put a new bear in and it's getting there.
Oh, really? What did you do different?
I put it back in ChatGPT and said that the bear's still not moving, fix it. And and he did fix it. Somehow, it's not perfect, but it's not that one.
At least it's going up.
No, not that one.
It's coming?
Just refresh.
Yes,
Wait. Up there. All right. Let's see what. Okay, here's the cat. Hopefully in the net.
But this is where you can blame the AI and you can laugh at it, or you can introspect about the prompt. You know, what is it about this prompt that's confusing the AI? Glowing blue portal. Well, the portal's
The
not
description
blue.
doesn't include the spaceship.
So the portal's definitely not blue. So that's.
Let me just change the prompt. I'm going to go simpler. Okay, so I'm going to go.
Maybe do it
The
gracefully.
cat floats towards the astronaut and is caught in the net.
Cat.
Do you need to say exits?
I think it's implicit.
Cat floats.
The butterfly
towards
effect.
the astronaut.
Who catches it in the net?
Okay, let's give them some agency. Catches it in the net.
Space after astronaut.
Something that we've noticed is that we've always struggled with brands and packets being truly represented on AI, and Runway is the first time that we found that it can copy them properly.
Oh, okay, that's good to know.
Really good, yeah.
So, and you've tried a few different ones. Do you try Cling and stuff like that as well?
Yeah, tried Cling and Midjourney and ChatGPT, and it's always just like distorts the packet. But it's come in perfectly in Runway, so bottles and packets of lollies.
So, is that for video or just image?
Both.
Both. Okay.
Yeah. So we're getting video and yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, that's good.
Stills.
Have you found that it does humans better than animals?
In the original one, the cat is actually moving across the.
Yeah, the cat
Runway didn't seem
good. To repeat
from the spaceship into the net.
Because it's a Gen 3.
Yeah, because I was doing
I'll move this over.
Mid-journey animals. So
Oh, Final Frame.
yeah.
What about saying that it floats out?
Yeah, I'm gonna add.
I think you need to say that the cat exits the spaceship. Yeah.
With the original, that it would work.
We'll go one more and then we better wrap up.
Yeah.
Take the middle frame of that video.
Oh, no, not that
Yeah, that's the original one, isn't it?
so that one was Cling.
So
Okay.
Take a middle frame.
For disintegrate.
Yeah. Nice there.
Like Cling gave the better initial result than Runway. In that.
Catatonic at the time. What do you mean?
I think we'll wrap it, Hing. I think we'll wrap it in. Folks, thanks very much for another great day, Hing. Thank you for all your preparation and for teaching us. I can tell you right now, I follow this stuff pretty closely. And there isn't a course you can go on pretty much anywhere in the world where you learn what you learned yesterday and today. It's pretty amazing that we've got access to the talents that are teaching us this stuff and that people put aside 6 hours to come and learn. So well done to all of you for putting the time and effort in. Really look forward to seeing what you create. We've got a break tomorrow. I'm sure everyone needs that. And then on Thursday, think about what you've learned. You've learned about image creation. You've learned about video generation. What if you could do the same thing with music, soundtracks, sound effects, vocals, etc. On Thursday we've got Dennis Folletto, who's a professional composer and musician, coming in to teach us how we sort of achieve this, but with music, sound. And if you love music, if you love, even if you're not a muso necessarily, but you love the idea of being able to create music with your own sounds and your own soundtracks, that's what you're going to learn on Thursday. Then on Friday we'll put it all together, show you how to edit a video together, taking bits and pieces that you've made, add the sounds and sound effects and soundtrack that we make on Thursday, and then show you how to get that out and distribute that across multiple platforms. So by the end of this week, you're an AI-enabled creative. You can generate images, generate videos, generate sounds, music, soundtracks, put it all together in a video, distribute it out to the world.
Do we need
Thanks for another great session.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'll send out some information about the Thursday session. Thanks again, Hing, that was fantastic.
Thank you.
Thanks, Pete.